Welcome back to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. I'm your host, Tiffany Deku. Here we talk about all the food happenings around Acadiana. If you like food, tune in. You might learn something new. They had some heart playing. Like, that was some straight up heart, but they have it as like fish. They don't have it up here anymore. It was fish heart. But that was that was Heart. That was the band Heart. Yeah,
interesting.
My dad raised me on that, so that was interesting. We have a full house tonight. We have Bethany with Tribe Collective.
Hello.
We have Peter Pham with the Asian Chamber of Commerce of Acadiana.
Hello.
And then Bob, as always, is joining us tonight. Okay, we're going to start off with king cakes, which is what we're going to do for king cake season as I taste different ones. This week, I tried out Five Sugars Bakery, which is a home bakery.
Yeah.
And she has become so popular. I found her on Instagram, and she's become so popular that you can't order a full-size king cake until February. Like, that's the soonest that you can do them. But what I liked about hers that was different, which is why I wanted to try it, is because she has different flavors. Like, she has a caramel. She does Nutella. I found out she does a peanut butter steens. But she does, like, stuff like that. But she only puts those on the top. So inside of it
now.
Right? So inside of it, you can get, like, cream cheese or different kind of stuffings. But and then the dough has like this lemon citrusy flavor to it. So we got some minis. Like, we looked out because when I she's doing minis now, and I looked out when I messaged her, like, she had some extra dough. So, like, Bob went and picked them up. We got mini ones. I did a caramel and a Nutella. Oh my God. I screamed.
Yeah, you did.
Bob was upset because he doesn't like loud noises. But I like the caramel better than Nutella.
Yeah.
But I think that's now my favorite king cake. Like, now I need to go and have that other one, the Satsuma cream cheese one from the farmer's market that I like so much. Like, I need to have that one again to compare them. But I think Five Sugars may be winning.
Are you down to, like, the final four?
The final four. I mean, we've only tried, like, I feel like I've tried 6 or 7 so far this year. But I'm Five Sugars is now winning for me. And this is coming from someone
it was really
who
good.
hates king cake.
Yeah.
Which one did you like better, the caramel or the Nutella?
Caramel.
See, something about that caramel just works with that dough and that lemon.
Yeah, I think it was the caramel, and the lemon just matches a lot better than lemon and Nutella.
I want to try the peanut butter steens because we know how obsessed you are with steens.
Yes.
That's a great combination, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to talk to my baker because we're always up-leveling our king cakes, and that might change the game.
Yeah.
That might be like if we could do something really special, like make our own little, grind some nut butters with some steens.
But she's on Facebook and she's on Instagram, and you can order through there. Like, you can direct message her from there, and she's super nice. And I think I was, like, reading something about her. Like, she didn't even plan on doing king cakes, and one of her customers was like, you should do king cakes, and so she started doing it. So I don't know what I'm going to try next week. I think I'm going to have to do the farmer's market. There's a couple places that are doing cronut style donuts.
Yeah.
You just mentioned Jack's.
Jack's does that cronut king cake.
Yeah, Jack's, and then Zoo House is also doing it. And then there's this place, I'm blanking on the name, but it's towards Maurice that is doing it too. And they also are doing like a keto one. Yeah, and you said Home Cut was doing one. Man, so I'm like,
is there a king cake festival? Is there one around here?
You know what? There is not.
No,
but
should have one.
Yeah,
we have a festival for everything,
right?
So I know a lot
surprising, actually.
I know a lot of people do king cake parties where like everyone brings a king cake, and so then they can try like different ones, which I think is a cool idea. I mean, a few years ago, we did like the blind king cake taste off, and I want to say we tried like over 60 king cakes. I was so over king cake. Actually, Lake Charles at one time did a king cake kind of festival.
I don't know.
I
don't know if we can have it here because the zealots from Keller's, it's going to be like the Warriors.
Look, we've talked about this. So I shot a video for this marketing company last week with Ben from Developing Lafayette, and it's really cute. It's online. You can go to social media and see it. And they gave us like 5 to try, and one of them was Keller's, and Keller's didn't win. And everyone that is commenting on this video is like, what? Keller's didn't win? It's just like a donut king cake one. Like, it's just a giant donut. And they're just so, like I said, I feel like people that like Keller's king cakes will put a fist in your face. Like, it's very much become the who has the best boudin and do you make your own roux for your gumbo conversation. Like, I feel like this is another one of those Cajun things.
Absolutely.
Like that you can just like not like you have to like Keller's.
And we only have it for like a little bit of the year, so we have to make up for it with zeal.
Right. So I'm trying to figure out how much more king cake I can fit in before the end. And I've been bringing the leftovers to work. So like they've been loving me.
Right.
Because it's like
You're
I can
popular.
only, and it's like I don't want to eat a lot of it. So I've been like just tasting little pieces. So again, if anyone has recommendations out there, you guys can email me at Lafayette Food Junkie. It's JUNKIE @gmail.com. And I'm on the search for unique and different king cakes is what I'm particularly searching for. So let me know. But now I feel like I need, because everyone's like, oh, well, you didn't get the right Keller's king cake. So it's like now I'm like, okay, well, maybe I need to give them a chance and try like one of these cream cheese stuffed Keller's that everyone goes gaga for and see what I'm missing. It's just like I don't see it. But I do love a donut one.
I don't know. We got to try it. See if they'll move the goalposts
Yeah, so
again.
Keller's Bakery, if you're listening, it's the strawberry cream cheese.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the one everyone, or the raspberry cream cheese.
That was the first ones. Everybody, they were programmed to believe that that's what a king cake was. So the other ones came much later in the game. Because I remember being a little girl and like those, they were like they're heavy. They weigh like 27 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to bite it and just do it.
Try it. Maybe fresh out of the oven.
Right. We also want to mention Bob and I dined out at Hana Grill last night.
Yeah.
They are open on Pinhook. They took over where Tokyo Live was. It is Lafayette's only in the table Korean barbecue. So because we do have a couple other places that are doing Korean barbecue, but theirs is actually in the table. And it was super fun. I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah.
They had this drink that we tried. It was called the Hana Famous that came in basically like a fishbowl, but it was a tiki fishbowl. So they do like tiki style drinks, and basically every alcohol known to man was in this drink, and then it was sugary, so you didn't know. So it was kind of deadly, which I loved. And then they also have something there. I'm gonna butcher the name. I believe it's called soju. And it is a Korean distilled beverage. It's very similar to wine, and they have different flavors there. But that's what they serve there as well, and they recommend that to go with the Korean barbecue. So, you had not? I talked to you about it before, but
I love Korean barbecue. I haven't had it locally yet, but I'm going to go now. I did not know that. Thank you. I saw that they had started up there, but I hadn't been, and I'm so happy to hear that. It was good because those are my favorite flavors. That's probably my favorite.
What
food.
I liked is you get a couple of different kimchis, and it's not like I'm overspiced or pickled tasting. It was really nice and mellow. And then, they'll teach you how to do it. And if you're like, oh my God, I don't want to barbecue my own meat, like the server will help you. But it's kind of fun. Like I feel like it'd make a really good date night.
My son would love
group.
that. He would be that's right up his alley. We're going to definitely have to check it out.
But it was super fun. They're on Facebook, and then it's Hana Grill.
And there's what's better than a tiki drink? Like,
yes.
I mean, I live and die for tiki drinks.
And it's lit on fire. Like,
where's the
The drink's on fire?
I'm there. The center of it, they put Everclear. Okay. Bad. Let me tell the story real quick.
This is a good one.
So they brought it to the table. It was on fire. Like, I put it out. Me and Bob were like, what is that they put on fire? He was like, that has to be grain alcohol. So I was like, I don't know. So stupid me takes the straw and tries to like suck it up into the straw. And I got like halfway there, and it was still like really hot. So like put it back down. But it tasted like kerosene. Oh. So I was like, maybe that wasn't alcohol and it was lighter fluid. I was like, I may die tomorrow.
No, it was just a really dirty mezcal, the tire rubber taste.
So the server came back to the table, and Bob was like, what was that in the middle? And he was like, it was Everclear. And he was like, oh, I told you. I was like, okay,
partying like it's 1994.
Okay. It was probably like a shot's worth of Everclear.
But the Everclear tastes like rubbing alcohol.
Yes,
it's a great alcohol.
That was my kerosene. That was my kerosene.
Yeah, there's you need a lot of other alcohols to drown that out. Yeah.
All right, we are going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking Lunar New Year with Peter. So come back to us. It is the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Welcome back to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. I'm your host, Tiffany Deku, joined as always by Bob.
Yep.
And Bethany with Tribe Collective is here tonight. And right now we're going to be talking with Peter, who is with the Asian Chamber of Commerce of Acadiana. And we're going to be talking about the 2019 Lunar New Year Festival that is happening next weekend at Parc International next Saturday.
Saturday from 10:30 to 4:30.
I am so excited that this is happening in Acadiana. You actually took me to lunch today at Pho Saigon. You taught me a whole other side of the menu that I need to be looking at.
Do share.
Yeah. So basically the back page is what he was saying. But your menu didn't have the back page.
Yeah, no, yeah, that one, but the one you had
did have the back page.
That's right.
And then I also noticed that the back page menu is not on Waiter. So you have to go in there to eat it. So
bummer. That's a huge bummer.
I'm going to be taking Bob there. I was like, we have to go and get more the clay pot. Like that was just
because
so
the clay
good.
pot, I mean, it has to be served hot. I mean, if you do it with Waiter, it's going to get hard. If you remember how he stuck to that. Did you eat that earlier?
No, he hasn't tried it yet.
But yeah, both those pots we did was the hot sour soup, which is got to be hot. And then you had the crayfish clay pot, which had to be hot too.
Yum.
It was so good. Like I was like, I'm coming back here and ordering off of the back menu, and then also trying their pho because we had talked about I had not had pho there too, and you said that's your recommendation.
Yeah, the thing is that the menu probably had like 50 plus dishes.
Yeah,
wow,
that's a lot.
They have a lot there. Okay, so this is the first year that the festival is open to the public. You guys had an event last year. It was a ticketed event.
Yes.
What made you guys decide to go public this year?
Well, although we had a very successful event last year, and we did it at Warehouse 535, it was capped out about 450 people that could go. It was a ticketed event. You had to pay for tickets, and we realized that if we were going to expose this to Acadiana, let's expose it to all, not just a select amount of people, not by tickets. Let's do it to the public. And that's why we're doing it at Parc International, 200 Garfield Street. And we thought this would be better. Last year, we did it where we actually paid the vendors. But this year, we're going to allow the vendors be there, and they're going to charge for everyone.
And I was seeing everything should be under $10.
Everything is going to be under $10. I mean, it ranges, I believe, from like $4 to like $8.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I told Bob that I'm basically spending a lot of money there next weekend.
Yeah, that's right. You can spend like $8 a share at every single vendor.
So can you tell us who some of the food vendors are?
Oh, yeah. So we wanted to make sure it's a very diverse group of people. So we did, for example, Blue Basil Bar and Grill. They're located on Johnson Street. They're Vietnamese, right? So they're going to have some Vietnamese food. It's like street food.
Oh.
So the meat on a stick, right? If you've ever seen that, they'll have pork and beef or chicken on a stick. Then of course, we'll do a traditional pork egg rolls. And then we'll also have a fried crab claw with shrimp around it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And what they do is they actually batter it, and hammer it out, and then they cover the whole crab claw with that. Then we'll also have South Fin Southern Poke. We thought we wanted to bring something fresh, So, and this is different from sushi. I know that poke and ramen are the new big things coming out, so we wanted to add poke to it. And they're going to bring us some like spicy tuna, spicy salmon, and they're going to serve it on either white or purple rice.
Nice.
With all the toppings with it as well, like avocados and things like that. And purple rice, to me, I've never had purple rice before, but it's really
delicious.
good.
Love purple rice.
So not many people know this, but it's
Yeah.
black rice that when you cook it, it turns purple.
Yes.
And it's because of the antioxidant, which is also found in blueberries. Right. That's why it's purple.
It's so good for you.
Non-allergenic and gluten-free, I believe.
South Fin came on the show before they opened, and they basically opened a poke restaurant in the lobby of Town Square. Like they brought us like one of each of the poke bowls to try, and that's when we got to try the purple rice. It was delicious.
That's good.
So who are some of the other vendors that are going to be there?
So we also thought it was very interesting is that I don't think that, at least I don't know about any of them, is that there's a Filipino restaurant. So
we used to have one, and unfortunately it closed, and I cried. Like, like when they closed, like, no, I was really close with the owners. Like, I love that restaurant so much. And like their last day that they were open, like I went to see them, and like the wife of the owner, they were both owners, but she was the one who cooked. She came out of the kitchen and like she hugged me by, and I like ugly cried like when they closed. Like Filipino food has a special part in my soul. And it's like a long story that I won't get into. But yes, we do not have a
exactly. So I actually found a Shri who owns Cajun Cuisine, who's Filipino. She's actually half Filipino, half Spanish, and she's out of Opelousas.
Okay.
And we found out that look, we would love to have some Filipino food out there. And that's different to me because I've never had Filipino food myself. And she's going to have some, I think, Filipino noodles as well as pork menudo.
Okay.
With hard-boiled eggs.
Wow.
Ooh.
I've never had that before.
I haven't had that either.
And she said, look, you're the pig. This would be perfect to have that. So
is she going to do lumpia? Please. I thought I saw that she was going to have lumpia.
I don't know if she's doing that, or maybe she added it the last minute.
Okay.
But I know that she's doing 2 flans, too.
Oh,
like a puto
nice.
flan and a leche flan.
Okay.
And so she's going to have that as well. And then we're going to have the Chinese Association is going to come out there and cook their pork dumplings, of course.
Yes.
And they're going to have a galore of dumplings. I think the last year they made like maybe 1,000.
I'm going to just eat all of the dumplings. Like that's what I think but that and the Filipino food is what I am most excited about for this festival.
Hanging out.
And the last one is katsu ramen. Just like I said earlier, the poke and the ramen is coming to Lafayette, and that's very popular in the trend right now. And they're going to bring out a mild ramen, and then they're going to bring out a spicy ramen, and then they're going to have the fried squid. Tonkatsu, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
So which is interesting. I mean, I'm excited about this because you're in a small little tour of Asia.
Wow.
With the different types of food.
Wow.
And what goes well with food? Alcohol. So we're also going to have beer and wine, and then Blue Basil is going to bring out 2 specialty drinks of their own.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Different. I think one's like Good Morning Vietnam, and another one's a Blue Basil Martini.
Best name for a drink ever.
I think I've had that one there. It has like lychee in it, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's good. So you ever had lychee before?
Yes.
Oh.
So
I had it in that
So
cocktail.
good. I have to say,
You should eat lychee by itself, though.
Yeah,
That's really good, too.
There you can put them just pop them out of their The katsu ramen, the spicy garlic one is amazing. The spicy one is so good.
See, we haven't been there yet. We went to Izumi. We fell in love with Izumi. We need to try katsu.
Probably, yeah. I don't know if it'll be on that. Like it's a little different, but the spicy garlic I have to say that was the one that I really enjoyed. It was amazing.
And there's going to be a lot of kids activities that you guys are doing too.
Yeah, so there's some there's some free little arts and crafts that we're going to do. We're sponsoring that, such as how to make origamis.
Nice.
How to do anime drawing, because I know a lot of kids are into anime drawings.
Yeah.
We're going to do Chinese fans. We're also going to do paper lanterns, Chinese umbrellas, Chinese knots. So all of those are pretty much free that we're going to sponsor. We want the kids to come out. This is a family event, right? It's a family event. This is Asian culture. This is what it's about. It's about family.
Yeah.
And so we want to bring everyone out here to enjoy everything. And we also have the Cajun Invasion Dragon Boat team is going to be out there with their boat. It's like a 40-foot boat with a dragon head and dragon tail.
Wow.
And they're going to be out there as well, letting kids sit in there to take pictures.
Nice.
So that'd be really interesting. And then
the dragon dance.
Oh, now you're talking about the performances.
Yeah. So at 11 o'clock, you're going to have a dragon dance. Correct. And then you said like the kids are going to get little snappers that they can. Yeah.
Well, that's right. So because Downtown Lafayette does not, they frown upon 10,000 crackers exploding.
Yeah.
Right.
So we decided that maybe we'll do something instead. We'll substitute it with little snappers instead, and the kids get to participate in that as well. Yeah, 11 o'clock kicks off all the performances with the dragon dance. That is very well known, very popular at Asian Lunar New Year's, and so I think that will kind of start off the whole thing. We have a whole lineup. We have a martial arts demonstration. We'll have singing. We'll also have a fashion show from 7 different cultures. Different dresses and how they dress, like Japan, Vietnam,
cool.
Thai. Yeah.
Nice.
Just to show, like, even though that we're all in the same area, but we all still dress a little differently.
The food is completely different depending on where you go, and I think people don't always realize that. So that is great that you guys are doing this. And then I want to mention too, the dragon dancers are going to be at Blue Basil and Saigon Noodles at night. I saw Saturday night. Yeah, they're doing like
I didn't know he confirmed that.
Yeah, Lunar New Year's. They had posted, I don't know what the times are, but I think like later that night they're going to be there as well.
We're doing so our event is on February 2nd. The actual Lunar New Year is actually February 5th.
Yeah.
I believe that's Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday.
So theirs might be Tuesday. So you may want to look at that online and not take my word for it. But I did see that they were going to be there as well. We talked about this. I have noticed a change in Acadiana as far as being more open to trying other cuisines, and I've really started seeing that in recent months with the ramen places that have opened, the poke places. Why do you think that? What do you think has helped attribute to that change in mentality for them to be more open to trying new foods?
I think it's a younger generation. I mean, they are more adventurous. I think that they have a bigger taste bud, and they're willing to try different things. But you also mentioned that it could be also TV shows as well. Anthony Bourdain and Andy Zimmern.
Right.
So that can also make sense. I think a little combination of all of it. But people just willing to take that leap and trying something different outside of gumbo and jambalayas.
Yeah.
They try something different that's not really around here.
I'm super excited for that. And again, we want to mention 2019 Lunar New Year Festival, 10:30 to 4:30 p.m., Parc International. It is a free event. Food vendors, free activities for the kids. They're also gonna you're also gonna have some artisans set up, correct? Vendors.
Oh yeah, so we have some vendors like Josie's Goods going to be out there, and so she usually does jams and jellies. And I said, well, I don't really know if there's really Asian inspired, but she said no, we have Thai basil jelly, we have a green tea. So she had ginger is really big, and so she does that. But then on top of that, I introduced her to some vegetables that are usually common to the Vietnamese culture and some Asian cultures as well, such as pickled daikon, pickled carrots, as well as pickled mustard greens. My mom used to pickle mustard greens by the pound in pickle jars, and we would eat that like all week long. Yes. And so we love that kind of stuff. And so she's going to bring that out as well. She's going to introduce that, and hopefully some people are like, hey, you know what, this is different. I want to try this. And that's what it's all about, is trying different things and learning about our culture at the same time. And I'm actually hoping that the Asian community also sees it the same way. It's like, wow, these people are actually interested in our culture.
Yeah.
We need to share our culture as well more often. And then Simply Caramelicious is another one who makes pralines. And you're like, wait a minute, pralines? How is that Asian? Well, she's going to make some actual Asian-inspired pralines, such as ginger or with green tea pralines and things like that, which is Asian-inspired. And we're excited about that, too, because I've never had a praline that's different like
praline.
that.
Yeah. That's what
matcha green tea praline. That's right.
That's what I'm thinking about.
I love it.
Okay, so that, again, it's this Saturday, 10:30 to 4:30, Parc International, the 2019 Lunar New Year Festival. Go out. All right, we are going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to have Bethany with Tribe Collective. So come back to us. It is the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Welcome back to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. I'm your host, Tiffany Deku, throwing pins off the table. Joined as always by Bob. And right now we're going to be talking to Bethany with Tribe Collective. What is new in the Tribe Collective world?
So many things. We have the most amazing chef right now. And actually his background, he's worked in a lot of sushi restaurants. So he's a wizard with fruits and vegetables, and he's doing a lot of specials. We have a lot of noodle dishes coming up, a lot of new soups coming up, a lot of really warming things that are kind of fitting into a lot of categories for people: keto, paleo, whole foods, AIP. We're looking much more this year. Our initial mission was food as medicine. Mel and I feel really strongly about that. So really medicinal food that tastes phenomenal. That's kind of our new byline. And all of our billboards and our marketing and all of the directions that we've taken in this year are kind of leading to people really getting into dosing with food. But it has to taste really good, and it has to be really fun to eat, and it has to be accessible and, of course, sustainable. So we have a lot of things that we're rolling out this year that I think are going to kind of push the boundaries of what people have even tried before as far as tonics and elixirs and medicinal food. But I'm really looking forward to it because so far it all tastes amazing. So I am excited about people really treating themselves and feeling better and achieving health goals and really just changing the entire paradigm of what food can be.
So I think the last time you guys came on the show, y'all had just moved into the new location off of University, which is closer to campus.
Very close to campus.
Do you feel like more of the college crowd has started?
Absolutely. We've gotten so much love there. And, it was a labor of love. It was a lot of urban renovation. It's been a Dairy Queen. Let's just say it had the ghosts of many places before it. And it's funny because we had a city official come the other day and we were talking about redoing the driveway. And he's like, well, from back when this was a donut place, we had so many issues because people would run into the road, queue up for donuts, basically. And I said, well, hopefully we'll have that problem. So we'll look forward. But it's been so many different things. So kind of in the heart of the city, and people are really starting to understand that, we're going to be there for a little while. I do have a lot of dreams and plans, but we're kind of putting roots down there and expanding a little bit there and hopefully getting the drive-through up and running and expanding the store and also expanding our offerings in our pantry. And Emerge has a lot of new things coming out too. They started selling the CBD products, and we're just getting a lot more into CBD tonics and elixirs, and our new moving forward with a lot of local partners, activating the collective to be a lot more actionable in all of the new ways that we can create together. So pushing the envelope.
So CBD oil was one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, because when I was doing predictions for this year,
yes,
I kind of had mentioned that CBD-based drinks
right.
were going to start taking off. And I was like, if anyone's going to do that in Acadiana, it's Tribe Collective. You guys are working on it.
Well, we have the juices. So people have been putting the CBD oil. You can get basically a shot at the counter, or we can add it to your juice, or we can add it to your coffee. So right now it's kind of a request basis, and it's always available to the customer. But we do have, we just finished formulating some really amazing new tonics and elixirs that it's a part of. And then baking with it, Mel is creating a whole line of gummies and baked goods. And she just opened a little shop in Mandeville, a little plug for Mel, called Sacred Earth, named after the bars. And, the revival of those, we're looking into superfood bars with CBD. And, the laws, they've been interesting. They come and go. But what we do is we source from manufacturers that are doing the required. In Louisiana, it has to be considered commercial, not industrial farming. You're not supposed to use the flowers. You're only supposed to use the stem of the hemp plant for certain CBD production. So we've been really careful, because we have a plan kind of built in, a structured way to move forward to expand on medicinal herbs and plants. But yeah, plant-based medicines, plant-based baking, all of this is coming, and it's really going to explode. And it's already exploding on the East and West Coast.
Right.
And I've seen it there in action. And there are bars like matcha bars, for example, that are based entirely on, dosing plant medicines within. And honestly, it's not just, as much as I love cannabis, it's not just cannabis. We're talking moringa, a lot of superfoods and a lot of adaptogens and a lot of plants that people haven't even heard of, that I think will really make their lives so much more fulfilling and make them feel so much better, and really get that mind-body connection. Because honestly, some of these tonics, they make you feel incredibly good. And so we're really looking forward to introducing more of that type of living into Lafayette, continuing with our mission.
A few years ago, I went to a conference in Baton Rouge, and one of the speakers owned a I don't know what the fancy name of it is, but she's basically doing edible candies, but it was really like high class candies. Yes. And she had a shop in, I believe, San Francisco, and then one in Colorado. And she was kind of talking about, she said that the laws here regarding cannabis were really strict.
They are for the moment.
But you said you feel that that's going to be changing.
I just, and this is just research based. This is my empirical opinion, but I feel like we're going to be following along the tide, which, as close as Florida, they're moving forward with their laws. And, honestly, it's a whole shift in thinking. It's a new way of thinking about plants and plant-based foods and tonics and plant-based helpers and adaptogens. And once you kind of have that shift, it just kind of follows suit. So I think that Louisiana is in line for some careful examination of the laws and a continued progress towards being much more accepting towards natural plant-based remedies. And when you look at some of the things that these remedies can do, I have a lot of students that I teach and in my therapy practice that, have seizures, have epilepsy, have brain inflammation. There's no reason why they shouldn't have access to clean, pure, and it also adds to our economy tremendously. I'm not going to get into the stories about what's happened in, on the West Coast, but they really have been able to use a lot of the money to fund even better, cleaner, more sustainable ways of doing things. So I've had a lot of experts come here. I've done a lot of traveling. I've done a lot of testing and talking, and I feel that we're headed for a much more optimum level of understanding the way that we interact with plants and the way that natural foods and plant-based medicines can be incredibly impactful and bring us up to, modalities of living that we've never imagined. And I know that sounds quite utopian, but I'm living it, so I believe it.
So I had noticed, like, I saw CBD oil like everywhere, like a while back, and then it kind of all got pulled off the shelves.
They weren't following the very strict regulations. It's funny because you never know what's going to happen. It's sort of these gray areas. These are the things that you must do to have these substances here, and we'll be checking up on you sometimes. So, the people that didn't have the right licenses and the right certifications as far as industrial versus commercial, which is all, can be very difficult, especially when you're dealing with the government. You want to really be really careful. That's why we source our CBD from the labs and the farms that are strictly within regulation. So that means that you are industrial versus commercial. You use a certain part of the plant. You have a certain purification system, and you can't be over 0.04% THC. So these people that were going back to the stores and saying, oh, there's THC in my blood. I've tested, I've heard that kind of. Is that an urban legend? I don't know. It didn't happen to me. But a couple of my friends running places, they said that people came back to them and said, you're responsible for this THC in my system. And I look at that very skeptically because I feel like it's such a low percentage. But maybe if the lab wasn't ethical or they hadn't been tested or they weren't doing things in a very precise way, okay, so you want to be really careful about your THC percentage. You want to be careful that you have all of the correct certifications, and you want to stay within the law. Which still is a very gray area, and not just for us, for the whole country. A lot of the United States is operating under some really variable laws, which people are just learning to live with. So I say, make sure that it's being reintroduced in a lot of local stores, and it's kind of, they're clarifying the policy. But yeah, come get ours. We have gummies, we have vape kits, we have it in everything. So we made sure that it was pure, it was organic, it was clean, it was holistic, and it was really going to benefit the body, and that it would benefit our business as well.
That was going to be my next question, because I see advertisements for it everywhere, and it's like, Bob actually had talked to one of his physicians about it, and he was kind of erring on the air of caution that you don't really know like what you're getting. And it's like, how does the consumer then know like where like what's good and what's not?
No, you have to really be careful. There's actually quite a few that I would recommend, and there's quite a few that places that I'm associated with sell. It just takes a little bit of research. You need to make sure that it's sustainably sourced, that it is organic, that the fields surrounding it are organic, and that they're following the qualifications for the highest levels of testing. And at the end of the day, you will always sort of, have different responses to different brands and different types, just like anything else. But the brands that are doing really well and that are kind of, that we have and that you can look up and you can do your research, it's a pretty easy thing to kind of suss out. I think that the ones that are really, really taking care, they're the ones that are still continuing, and they're the ones that have all the, boxes checked. And there's just research to be done out there. You can come and talk to us more. I mean, we can answer more questions about that, but you just want to look at it and investigate it like you would anything else. And I hope that people are doing that, because I feel like if you're going to take full accountability for being the healthiest you can be and be super healthy and super vibrant, and your food choices and your medicinal choices reflect that, don't be a sheeple. Do your research, open your eyes. We're talking about new ways of treating disease. We're talking about new ways of feeling good, not buying into the aging paradigm or I have to be sick and unhealthy, the disease paradigm. If we're shifting the conversation, then let's be a little more intelligent about what we're doing. That was our whole goal with activating a collective, was let's get a lot of like-minded people together. Let's figure out what's best, and let's give everybody who walks in the absolute best that we can. So that's why we chose the brand that we did. I'm also a really big supporter of Charlotte's Web. That's my second favorite. They're medicinal grade, and they're doing a lot of research and education right now. And at the moment, Cypress Hemp, local people, I'm waiting for them to make a couple of moves forward, but I have my eye on them. And so far, I would say it's a good product. It's becoming great. So I'm looking towards, really starting to reach out to them and support them, because I like what they're doing. They're in the infancy stages of what they're doing, but their grow production is phenomenal. So everybody's taking little steps forward, but a really good time to be clear-eyed about, your plant-based medicine and what you're putting into your body, period, so that you can make really informed decisions. Because we do have a cannabinoid system, and it really does make a difference in most people. Most people can use it as a tool to feel much better.
All right, we are going to take a break, and when we come back, more with Bethany. So come back to us. It is the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Welcome back to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. I'm your host, Tiffany Deku, joined as always by Bob.
Yep.
And Bethany with Tribe Collective is talking to us tonight. Before we went to the break, we were talking about CBD oil. And I just kind of want to say this, like, if anyone has questions, like, go to you guys and ask questions, because I feel like you're probably the most knowledgeable source.
I just think
it's in the area.
It's so important to be to research and to do your homework and to not be reactionary. You know, everybody has emotions about certain things, and that's fine, but let's get down to the facts and keep it really clean, and let's move forward. Let's move forward with plant-based medicine and nutrition, because honestly, you can completely, you can be pain-free. It lowers inflammation in the body. There are so many other herbs that are supportive as well that really help it do its work. So getting to know your body, getting to know what's good for you, trying out these new things, in a safe space. Yeah, that's what we're all about. And a lot of our partners are also moving towards some of those objectives with their wildcrafted herbs and teas and tinctures and things. So we're really seeing much more creativity around this. And I love it because it's brought other herbs in that really help people. Everybody's talking about celery juice, right? Well, nothing new. We've been selling celery juice for 6-7 years now. But all of a sudden, it's this miracle, matcha is this miraculous, oh my God, reishi mushrooms, they've only been around since the dawn of time, but people are discovering them and they're trending. What we're trying to do is make sure that the trend lives up to the potential impact. And you can only do that through purity and precision and sustainability. So you really can't have one without the other. And that's why we try to integrate both. And it's not a perfect art, but it is an art, indeed.
Speaking of celery juice, I was listening to a podcast a while back, and they were mentioning this brand of soda that they make a celery juice soda, but they've only seen it in like Jewish delis.
Okay.
But the brand, I think it's like Dr. Brown's or something like that. But Jason's Deli sells the brand of sodas, or they used to. Oh. But now I'm like trying to find the celery soda because I'm interested.
Wow, no,
to taste what it tastes like.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I do love Jewish Deli though, so one of those should open up here. That would be phenomenal. Actually,
it was announced last week that we're getting a speakeasy downtown. It said speakeasy and delicatessen.
Delicatessen. That was an interesting blend of words, right?
Yeah. So to me, when I heard delicatessen, I was like, Jewish deli. And we were talking about it on Friday's morning show, and we're thinking, this is our hypothesis, our theory, is that the delicatessen is the cover. And then the speakeasy is in the back.
Yeah, you have to have food. Yeah. Well, hey, look, if they pound out a insanely good matzo ball soup, I'll be okay with the cover.
That'd be awesome.
Let me in on the fraud, please.
Did you have a question? Before I think I cut you off.
No, you were just talking about like celery juice being like the new wonder.
Yes, it's like
Wunderkind. I'm waiting for like the Holy Trinity to be like the new popular plant-based drug.
Just juice onions and bell pepper.
Yeah.
Yum. Yeah, there's always hype. So you want to make sure that you're living up to the hype. And I try not to play any games because I really want people to feel good when they, have our food or eat one of our gluten-free, allergen-free, really high level. We use no neurotoxic oils. We use nothing that isn't absolutely pure. And I want you to be able to feel that vibration. So with CBD, that's next level. That's the medicinal food that we're talking about, the medicinal tonics that have those level of impact. So you want to be really, really careful. So yes, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, Tribe Collective, LAF@gmail.com. And I'm very willing. Mel will give you a 10-page response, FYI. It's going to be a thesis because she feels really strongly about this, and she has for years. So she's been talking about this for years, and it's a conversation that you'll see a lot more of on her social media as these things all emerge. Do you like how I did that?
Nice.
So you guys always have events going on.
Yes.
Do you have any events coming up?
We just did a series of amazing activations for our collective. One of them was called Awakening the Divine Feminine and Embodying the Divine Feminine. And we got together with some of our favorite local healers and makers and creators, which is what the collective is all about. It's the definition. And we had big groups of women at the Yoga Garden and at Tribe, just kind of looking at all the products that we offer, apothecary products that we offer. We have a couple of breath workers that we work with, fitness gurus, therapists, local spa owners, massage therapists. So that went really well because they got to try a lot of our new tonics. We had a yin tonic that came out, and then a golden milk. And, they were dosing some of the juices in the water, even water with CBD, because we have a really special water at the shop. What's coming up for us now is Mel's going to be doing some nutrition seminars. We're going to be involved in a series at UL, the Go With Your Gut, which is in late February, and you'll hear more about that on our social media soon. We're also going to be sponsoring a lot of local panels on wellness activation and running a lot of local panels on wellness activation. So getting members of the collective together and also new people to talk about intuitive nutrition, because I'm doing an IIN, intuitive nutrition certification, and Mel's already done a lot of that too. So we're kind of continuing our education. So we wanted to bring together people that were, kind of local exercise guru, integrated therapists, so a couple of chiropractics that we really love. Tom Lightfoot, Hala, he's just an amazing integrated chiropractic care. And looking at up-leveling holistic and natural medicine and nutrition and, all of the plant-based initiatives that we're doing. How do people know about these other practitioners? How do we continue to make the collective more seen? How do we continue to make local business more successful, more impactful, more meaningful, and connect one another with the resources that we need to be really happy, healthy, and whole? So we're continuing to do that. And you'll just please follow along on our social media because it's going to be exploding. There's so many that I couldn't even begin to name them in March, April, May, and over the summer. So new products, new activation wellness panels, new collective meetings. I'll be teaching yoga at a few places, and we'll kind of turn those into tribe events as well. Friday night, we got to launch Ashana, Sophia's new album, Ancient Songs, at the Hilliard. And I want to tell everybody, go see the Pods exhibit. It is so cool.
Yeah.
You will not believe how beautiful it is. I love Gisela Colon, and it is oh my goodness, gorgeous. I had the best night in there, and we brought this metallic ganache flourless torte and our matcha gold dust truffles and the little raspberry chocolate drops. And everybody was it was like we were on Venus or something. Like it was love and music, and everybody was chilling out, and it was the most beautiful exhibit. So very kid friendly because there's a place for the kids to play and learn. Yeah. And we're definitely bringing the students because those pods were next level. I loved it. I thought it was an amazing night.
They are really cool. It's all about like the reflection of light.
Yes.
Like as you walk towards them, like it completely changes color.
Yes, they're alive. They look like they're so alive. So it was a great really theme for us because it felt it went with the food and the music. And, we do a lot with Ashana. She's been at pretty much all of our Divine Feminine events, and she's going to be on a lot of these panels because not only is she a musician, but she's a plant-based chef.
Nice.
Yes, she's a phenomenal woman. Shout out Ashana.
So do you guys have any new local vendors in the shop? I know you guys partner with Magnolia Moon and you've partnered with other places. So do you have any new ones that we maybe don't know about?
We're getting a massive influx of local to Louisiana supplements and products through the new store in Mandeville, through the proliferation of Mel's business there. And we're going to be carrying those. I've added to our Smoke Apothecary. I've added to our local Olive and Annie. I've really basically been building with these brands. And we continue to carry Carmacaroons. We continue to carry Cultured Guru, which they are growing. And let me tell you, if anybody's interested in the kimchi, like we talked about earlier, they literally have the best kimchi I've ever put in my mouth worldwide.
We were talking about that last night.
Stick a jar in your box.
That's my favorite.
Killing it. Their products are just next level. So we continue to grow with them, and we continue to grow with all of the other ones. And we're kind of just really proliferating with these brands, and then adding the supplementation, the local supplementation lines. Probably adding more CBD-based products because there are some novelty ones that have the gummies and the drops and just any way you can get it. So I think that's a really good thing to do. And a lot of self-care products that are coming on the scene. So yes, we're always growing and we're always open to local artisans who want to be a part of us.
It is always a pleasure to have you on this show.
Thank you
so much
for joining us. I love you so much.
Tonight.
I love Lafayette Food Junkie. You're always good at making me really hungry and making me feel like there's a lot happening here. So happy to be a part of it.
All right, that's our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Join us next week, Sunday at 6 p.m. This is Tiffany Deku on News Talk 96.5 KPEL, and this is the Lafayette Food Junkie Show. Thanks for listening, and as always, happy eating, Acadiana.